Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Christ the royal master leads against the foe, forward into battle, see his banners go. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Oh, for a faith that will not shrink, though pressed by every foe, that will not tremble on the brink of any earthly woe, that will not murmur or complain beneath a chastening rod, but in the hour of grief or pain will lean upon its God. A faith that shines more bright and clear when tempests rage without, that when in danger knows no fear, in darkness feels no doubt. Lord, give us such a faith as this, and then whatever may come, we'll taste and hear the hallowed bliss of an eternal home. A charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, a never-dying soul to save, and fitted for the sky, to serve the present age, my calling to fulfill. Oh, may it all my powers engage to do my Master's will. Arm me with jealous care, as in thy sight to live, and o' thy servant, Lord, prepare a strict account to give. Help me to watch and pray, and on thyself rely. Assured if I my trust betray, I shall forever die. Rise up, O men of God, have done with lesser things. Give heart and mind and soul and strength to serve the King of Kings. Rise up, O men of God, his kingdom tarries long. Bring in the day of brotherhood and end the night of wrong. Rise up, O men of God, the church for you doth wait. Her strength unequal to her task, rise up and make her great. Lift high the cross of Christ, tread where his feet have trod. As brothers of the Son of Man, rise up, O men of God. Good evening. Let's edify one another this evening, shall we?
Hello! I'm in TikTok mode. I wanted to see how this would sound here. I don't know.
TikTok mode. Does that mean you're live on TikTok at the same time?
No, I'm not. I'm using this. Huh.
Hello, Lil. Good to see you. Hello, Melissa. And you forgot your intro, CJ.
Oh, good evening, man. Just
No, that's mine.
what?
You forgot. The Let's Edify is my part. Yours is.
The same from the best of shenanigans. Off to a great start. Hello.
Man, even after 3 years, 4 years, you can't. You still mess that one up.
Are you
Yes.
surprised?
No. That's part of our shenanigans. Lil says you're sounding pretty good. uh,
How do you like it? Does it sound different than when it was
yes, it does
connected?
sound different. It sounds like you're on a headset. It's not bad. It just sounds like you're on a headset.
Well, yeah, I like this because I don't
You
even
can
have.
get up and you can walk to the kitchen and start preparing your pizza.
Uh huh, that's what regular means.
Of course.
Oh, I don't like how clear you are. I'm gonna have, I'm gonna have to match that. I'm sorry.
You don't like how clear I am?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to match that.
Sorry, I am going to remain as clear as I can be. Clear and concise.
So how was your day, Levi?
It's been long, busy, and it ended in Y.
Good.
Every day usually ends in three letters DAY. Funny thing is, it begins the same way.
What?
Every day begins and ends in three letters DAY. CJ is off camera, just simply shaking his head. And if he was near here, where he could hit the media, he would be actually going.
Yep.
There you go, CJ, just for you. Brian, good afternoon, good evening. How are you?
See, I, well, Levi, I do some evangelizing for our stuff uh, on TikTok. That's why we have all the TikTokers over. I'm like, hey, follow me over there.
Well, we do appreciate it. Thank you. CJ is the man, and Melissa followed us over here because, well, she happened to like your sound. Well, she didn't say that. She should have said she followed you over here.
Yep. So this is my partner Levi, one of my partners in ministry. Been working with him. We're in our fifth year.
Fifth year started in 2001, and haven't looked back. Well, actually, we look back about every year.
That's right.
Lil says, "Echo Lima Tango. This is a mean latrine team. We're a go for Bible extraction and surveillance over and out." Melissa's like, "I do like his sound." See, I was reading between the lines.
See. Yeah, it's not about me, it's about the headset. I see. You, you want to start a ministry with the headset, Levi? Maybe
No,
that would be
absolutely not.
better company.
Well,
Alright,
I wouldn't
let's
get
see.
anywhere. There wouldn't be any sound.
Oh,
It ain't about the set; it's about the head under it.
I don't know why. Maybe you understand this phenomenon, but this here's totally fine. This here hurts and feels weird. Why?
Because it's a different size and it has more weight on it.
Oh,
It is common that you have a different aperture in one ear than the other. And for you, that happens to be your whichever ear here that boom is, probably your left ear. All the,
yep.
and it actually, because of the boom on that mic, you have more weight.
Come on.
Brian says he's a call center professional.
Yeah, that's what they call me over there. I look like someone throwing calls at
Thank you for
Okay.
calling the Bible Center hotline. This is CJ. How may I direct your call?
Yeah. Did, did you have anything for us tonight? We didn't talk about anything, so I assume we're just chatting
We're
tonight,
just
right?
chatting or singing. Or if somebody has a topic they want to talk about.
Come on now, it's plugged in. Stop.
We just kind of go until it's time to read from the Wise Men of Gotham.
Well, you have. I guess, I'm gonna see if I can restart because my camera is not coming up.
Really? We,
What
we
like
wouldn't we wouldn't have known except for the fact there's a big black box with a dead camera.
right? Yeah. Oh my.
But the audio is great, man. The audio is great.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that just goes without saying. Part of CEM, our logo is edifying the saints with professionalism and shenanigan. When it comes time to being professional, we're professional. But on the other hand, Christians can have fun, and we should have fun. God gave us a sense of humor for a reason. Let's make use of it. I mean, even our good Lord has a sense of humor. Have you ever noticed a platypus?
Alright. Well, that's a new one. This doesn't
Oh,
work.
hello.
Great.
Ew,
Well,
ew, shut it off, shut it off.
compared to that camera, you want to shut it up. Yeah, I want my good camera.
What'd you do to your good camera? Did you
I
get
don't
water
know.
on it too?
Levi, th- there's a reason why I fished through this last week. You're like, yeah. Uh-oh. Now I got no sound.
No, we hear you fine.
Why
We hear
do
you
I have... Now I got sound.
fine.
What do you think?
Red
Tell me.
shirt.
Ow! That,
You turned me up again.
that, oh,
Whoa,
what
hello.
did I do? Oh, oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, this is great. I love this. I
Lowell
love.
says the saying is, you know how to make God laugh? Question mark, question mark. Tell him your plans.
Uh-huh, that's right. My original plan was to become a pulpit minister. That that was my dead center plan.
To become a pulpit
And
preacher.
pulpit preacher. But well, I guess I got this part.
So I guess you are a pulpit preacher now.
But no, I love my online work. I would have it no other way. I love working with Levi and
Well, thank you.
Jose.
You get to see him tomorrow.
Yep.
Ah! Hey, look at that bald spot.
What? Huh? Don't you do that to
Boy, did you jump!
me. Bald spot. Levi, I'm gonna have your head.
No thanks. I'm rather partial to it myself. O'Shea says it always made me ponder because every instance we have of mentioning God laughing, it's always at the evil or the foolish or his enemies. Hmm. Yeah, so maybe we don't want to tell God our plans.
Alright.
O'Shea says, I was going to say it worked. You have puppet times. After all, you make a great puppet teacher. Or puppet preacher. Ah! Uh, hey, we get to look, we got to look at the entire apartment there, CJ.
Well,
All
I
right.
don't know.
Ah, you spin me right round, preacher, right round. That's not the singing we were intending on doing, CJ.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
And you're forward.
Now I can compete with Levi. See? See? Even if I don't.
So is this your
It,
good camera again?
yep.
So you got it back to working? You must have
Yeah.
shaken the water out of it.
By the way, my keyboard on my Mac mostly works. There's like one button that doesn't, but apparently it dried out and now it's okay. I don't know.
Did you put it in the rice?
Now I just left it alone for a few days. I guess I guess it dried out.
Yeah, it will, but you also allow a lot of corrosion in there. Melissa's laughing.
Boy, I forgot how good this camera actually was. Look
It
at
only
that.
takes a little bit of a little bit of work to remind you. I could actually use my other camera and set up your double camera like what you do, but
Double
the
camera.
other camera is rather poor as well.
I don't have a double camera, I think.
Yeah, you do.
What-
You got the one on your Apple, and you got the good camera right here.
Oh yeah, I could do that. I could turn this into a camera. If I wanted to have like two, actually, I could use my iPhone as a second camera. That would
Yep.
be cool. I
Hello,
don't
Doc.
know.
Good to see you.
I don't know if I'll ever have a use case for that, but I could do that.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes it's nice to have the double camera just so you provide relief, especially if you have a long stream. Switch up the view every once in a while. Kind of
Yeah.
like what some of those other streamers do, like Brother Stefan, for example.
And like, if I was doing things, actually, if I get another tripod to my phone, I probably could have like a desk view. If I drew something on stream, I could point one at my desk and
Should have said something. I could have sent one a big one back with you.
what?
I said you should have said something in October. I could have sent one with you.
What, a phone tripod?
Well, it's actually a camera tripod that you could actually get a phone adapter for, like what I have for mine. They're not
Well,
that
if you,
they're not that hard or expensive to come by.
well, if you're willing to part with it this year, I'll take it from you.
Absolutely, I don't need it sitting around my, sitting around my place.
It's Levi and CJ working.
Oh,
What?
he's working tonight. He's got to work, so he's filling in his
Oh,
board.
it's Levi and CJ. I'm working tonight.
He
Boy,
forgot he forgot his punctuation.
my,
Donna would be
my,
rather upset.
my mind just put that all together.
Good
Hey,
evening,
Ruby.
Ruby. Good to see you. It's been a minute.
Uh,
Oh,
Strongbow, huh? Did you catch which one I had?
did I do that? What?
Did you catch which one I had? Songbook
Oh yeah, you said
wise?
hymns.
Yep.
Yeah,
You got the wrong color. It's a blue book.
blue, red. As long as the songs are the same, who cares?
I, I,
He says, I can hear mom saying that I didn't write it correctly.
oh, I, do you turn you up? Are you
Nope,
like,
I have not made any adjustment to my audio.
yeah, you could like really scream in my ears. Right, you're here.
I could. I don't really want to hurt everybody else's ear either. I wouldn't mind to do. I wouldn't mind showing you the. That's one thing about the kids on the bus. I keep telling them, he says, you do not want to hear me at full voice because I'll get on. They'll be getting really loud on the bus, and we have this rule on the bus. It's not my rule. It's actually the school's rule. You get on the bus, you're supposed to be at voice volume 1. Now, I drive country route. There's 4.5 miles roughly from the school to town. And then, of course, I have a few stops in town, and then I drive primarily country on the other side of town. There ain't no way I'm going to enforce a voice volume 1, except when we're in town where we're at a lot slower of a pace. So while we're out in the country, running at highway or gravel road speeds, I don't care that you're at a voice volume 3. But when we're tooling around the school or we're in town, settle it down, simmer it down to voice volume 1.
Yeah.
So they are not absolutely allowed to scream on the bus, no matter where you're at. But we get to town, and I will holler out on the intercom, voice volume. We're entering town, simmer it down, voice volume 1. Yes, rhyming really does work. But if they don't simmer it down, or when I come across that and they don't immediately simmer down, I'll amp it up. Hey, I said simmer it down, voice volume 1. And you can hear the change in my voice. And if they're still not going to turn it down, I will get her a little
Don't
bit
you
more
dare.
forceful. You don't want me to do that?
Don't you dare.
I will.
I'm having flashbacks, Levi. You know exactly what I'm remembering.
So, yeah, back in October when we were recording our our gospel edification meeting that you guys can watch now, that we do do annually. We were re-recording it, and we were sitting there, and I got rather forceful. I made a loud statement. CJ was not ready for it. He was sitting right next to me, and he about fell off his chair.
And then he proceeds to assault me.
I can't help it that you happen to lean forward as about the time my hand comes out.
And here's the scary thing, I messed up, so I have to endure two of those lessons again this year. So we will be sitting farther apart this year. You can do your hand gestures, and I'll do way over there.
uh, but but no, I will. Again, I'm on the intercom now. When I first started driving, our intercom, we didn't have a bus intercom in my first bus. And so, can you imagine how I had to get the attention of the kids at the very back of the bus?
Yeah, well,
I had to shout. And my mother has always said that I could hit the back 40 with my voice. I had the lungs to prove it. In fact, when I was a wee little lad, about a toddler's age, we would drive 4 hours from home to visit my grandparents. 4 hours. I hated long trips. So they would pack while I was sleeping and try to get on the road while I was sleeping to get at least a half hour's worth of peace. Because if they didn't, it was solid 4 hours of screaming Levi at the top of his lungs. 4 hours later, I would still be screaming at the top of my lungs.
wow.
And mom and dad would be pulling their hair out. So I had the lungs to hit the back 40. They could probably have attached me to the top of the roof, and everybody would be like, "Where's the police car?" um, but
Yep.
so even with the intercom, I'm not even anywhere near full force because I'd probably end up blowing the speakers. But it's loud enough that I get everyone's attention. It gets absolutely quiet on that bus. Like Brian says, sit down and be quiet. I don't have to worry about the sit down part, Brian, because that's one thing I absolutely enforce. I'll pull over to the side of the road and we'll sit there until everybody sits down. And it don't take long from the time, because I get them, when they're preschooler. And it don't take long before those children learn that rule that rumpus on the seatus is just a polite way of saying get your butt on the seat. So, yeah, I definitely I definitely get their attention, and if they continue to not listen, then I will stop the bus and I will tell them, I said, you guys didn't listen. So now it's not a voice volume 1, it's a voice volume 0. And this will last until we get to club, where I could drop the majority of the people off. And we were not moving here from this spot until you all are quiet. And so then it becomes 0 noise. And as soon as someone starts to talk, I stop the bus again. I said, voice volume 0. And after the first time, they got the message. That isn't to say that I don't have to voice volume zero to every once in a while, but it's like, okay, I need to focus on the road and on the stops. And when kids are getting on and off, I don't need to be trying to head off problems with kids screaming and hollering or kids hurting one another. And so I don't have a bus monitor. I don't have anybody else on that bus. All I've got is cameras and myself. So welcome to my reality. I'm the bus driver.
You, you have like when I was growing up, they had like a little system where you can tap on someone's name
Nope.
and it would. No, you just gotta
Now,
remember
the
what is
bigger
that?
the bigger cities do have those type of systems. Um, but when you're talking about a system that costs at a base of 7,000, and then you add that on to um, roughly, uh, I think then they did the cost estimate. It was 7,000 for one unit, and then you add in $1,000 to $3,000 per student into that system.
Wow.
And so you're talking, it gets pretty expensive. Um, or maybe
So
it's for one bus to outfit that system, it was anywhere between $13,000 to $30,000. So
so do you just have a good memory wherever the kids are?
for my bus, this is something that works for me, and I've tried to pass it on to other drivers. They never listen, noobs. Um, but what I do is I've arranged my bus according to grade seats. It's very easy that way. You have preschool sitting in preschools. I've got 5 preschoolers. I know each of the preschoolers' names. Kindergarten. In the morning, I've got maybe 2 preschoolers, or excuse me, 2 kindergartners. Running over my kindergarten list. No, I don't have any kindergartners in the morning. Um, so all of my kindergartners in the afternoon. Then first graders, second graders, third graders, fourth graders. So I generally have, and I go all the way up to 6th graders. After which, then I do have up to high schoolers. Currently, I have one high schooler that rides. Well, no, correction. I have 3 high schoolers that ride faithfully, um, with the possibility of a 4th, maybe a 5th. So, um, but I do know every kid on my bus's name. I know them by face, and I know them by name. That is, in the morning, I have a total of about 32 kids.
Wow.
In the afternoon, that jumps to almost 60 kids.
So you just memorize where they live? Or.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have certain designated spots in town. Some of those are houses, some of those are just simply drop off points where they go and then they walk to their homes. Um,
Oh,
or they walk to that spot and get picked up, depending upon whether you're talking morning or afternoon. Um, but in the country, yeah, those are homes. I know exactly where they live, and I've had the same route for uh, 16 years now.
well, that's, that makes it easier.
Yeah, there's been changes within that route in 16 years. Whereas I've lost homes because parents, because kids have graduated from that family. All the kids have graduated, and therefore the route had to change because we didn't need to go to that particular house anymore. Or all the houses, all the families in that area lost kids, so we shifted the route further one direction or the other. Um, and I've gained and lost kids. So I mean, there's been some times. So there's one house I've actually had to hit 3 different times over the last 16 years, and where it would have a family and then it would lose the family because it was a rental, and so it would gain a family, it would lose a family, then it gained the family back, and then it lost the family, and gained another family. So, um, you know,
Hmm.
I live in the great state of Iowa, Brian, and that's as far as I'm going to say because of confidentiality for the kids. But Donnie, Donnie, thank you. He says I and my brothers have my father's tone when it comes to getting our point across.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie is a family friend from when I was growing up, and so yes, he knows what he's talking about. I appreciate that. It's great.
I I probably haven't seen Levi. Well, I haven't seen Levi shout at me at the top of his lungs, but boy, I've seen Levi have a stern voice. I know nice voice, Levi, and I know you're in trouble.
Um, I don't often. I I very rarely get truly upset, truly mad. That's one thing I try never to do is get fully off the handle mad. Um, I don't think it's worth my time. Bible says, "Be angry and sin not." There are times when you can be angry, but never get to the point of where you totally lose control. I have done that, not to the point I've gotten blackout mad, but I have gotten to the point of where I've been out of control mad at least once, and that is not something I ever want to do again. That is not
Yeah.
something. That is not something anyone wants to see. Um, our good Lord uh, commanded us to be self-controlled, and I was shuddered to think what would happen if I ever got to that point. Donnie says you don't drive your bus like the Perry driver who drove past mom's house, high speed, heavy dust, bus number 4. Um, I hope I don't. We did have a bus driver
What?
that um, um, we had a bus driver. We called him Hot Rod for a reason, um, because this bus driver, and it didn't take long for us to move him out, move him out of our district. No, we don't want him. Um, he would be driving down gravel roads at breakneck speed with his route sheet telling him where his route is because he never memorized his route in the 3 or 4 months that he drove. He had it right smack dab there on top the steering wheel, and he would be looking at it while he's driving 70 mile an hour down the gravel road in a bus.
Well,
And that's just one example. Yeah, in the other district, the next district that he went to drive, he ended up pulling out and passing a semi right at the edge of a no passing zone, um, and fly. He basically he pulled out while it was still passing, but it was right at the edge of a no passing zone, and he must have been doing somewhere between 70 to 80 mile an hour in a 55 with a
Well,
high school football team on. So, um, Lil says righteous indignation is hard to exercise since we are so flawed.
yep,
Um, yeah,
I would agree.
we have our each of us have our issues. Some people can practice righteous indignation, other people can't. Melissa says the school she works for. Thank you for your service. I'll say that. And yes, I mean it with a true heart. Anyone who works with kids should be thanked for their service, especially with kids these days. Um, doesn't have buses except for special ed, kids, and sports travel. In the state of Iowa, you are legally allowed or required, you are legally allowed to walk up to 1 mile if the school is in town. Um, but we are required to provide transportation for all kids outside of that mile. So if you live beyond that mile mark, we are required to provide transportation. So my job is secure. Thank you. I've
Oh,
I've had a had a teacher tell me that she would never want to do my job, and I look at her and I'm like, wait a minute, I spend an hour, well, 2 hours a day with the kids at the most, because each of my routes is about morning and afternoon. My route is only about an hour long, and I look at her. I says, but I only spend like an hour with the kids at most. You have to spend up to 8 hours a day, between 6 to 8 hours with these kids in a room. It's like, yeah, but we get to get up and move, and they're not all cooped up in one spot for that for that time, and you have to deal with all these ages for that short amount of time. I couldn't do it. You work for a city school. Yeah, ours is country, and we actually our particular school is situated halfway between two different towns. Um, Now we started whole grade sharing because our enrollment was down, and so we started a whole grade sharing with another district, and we're looking at within the wondering about the near future about consolidating with that particular district. Is the school is in town, but it services such a very large district. It's about the same size as our district, maybe a little bit larger, um, and most of that's country. So there's 15 miles. Well, actually, there's 20 miles between the two school buildings for their high school building plus our and our elementary and junior high. And um, let's see here. There's about my school district begins in actuality about I would say 7 miles from my home, because I actually live in the other school district. Um, but it's about 7 miles from my home, and I live 15 miles from the school. I actually live 15 miles from the school building. So if you think about it I'm 7 miles from either school. I'm 7 miles from the district, the school building in the district that I live in, and I'm 15 miles from the school building I work at. So I'm 7 miles from the edge of. That's interesting. Am I 7 miles from the edge of the district on the other side as well? Hmm.
So
I have to
why
think about that one.
why did you choose to work at the one farther away than the one closer?
Actually, I began working at the one further away when I lived a lot closer.
Oh,
So for my home school that I, the school that I work for, the home district that I work for.
this has
I
become
was when
religious.
I first started working there, I lived exactly 4 miles away from it.
This has become religious for you.
In a ways, I guess it might do. Um, but I lived 4 miles from that building, and so it was an easy commute. Boom, 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 boom. Plus, it was when I was going to public school because I was homeschooled from fourth grade and on. But when I was going to public school for from kindergarten to third grade, I went to this particular district. So it wasn't that hard of a choice. They needed school bus drivers. I needed a job. Hey, I'll go. I'll go for it. Fell in love with the job. I loved my I really loved working for my director of transportation. And so even when I moved up to where I live now, 15 miles away, I didn't want to change. And so I chose to continue to commute. Now, as I said, we began whole grade sharing. I could have moved over to this other district without any problem, except, and I would have gotten at that time a bigger paycheck. But I did not like the way that they were running things. Still don't like it because they're not running it the same way. They don't fill out the same paperwork. There isn't the same adherence to procedures as there is down at my home district. And so the way I feel is that there's not the same level of safety consciousness um, as there is at where I work. And so I don't want to change. I'd rather be driving for the district that I drive for, which I believe has much safer buses. And um, even though the director of transportation has changed 4 years ago, um, I still like who I work with.
Good.
Um, and absolutely, Brian. I mean, I've been doing it for 16 years now. I'm going to go on my 17th year. My plan is, if the Lord wills, I will retire in about 20 years from this profession at this particular school. I hope to anyway. Um, that's my goal. I turned 49 this year. Wow. I'm getting old. Anyway, and so in 20 years I'll be 69.
In 20 years, I'll be 44.
If the Lord blesses me, I'll be 69 in 20 years. Lil says I liked all my bus drivers. Even one even ran over my dog and felt terrible, but it wasn't his fault. The dog went to greet me and went to the door while I went behind the bus. Didn't see me until I was on the other side, and he ran under, and the driver drove off. And I was able to comfort him the next day, and we were cool. Definitely sad, but it was an accident. Am I allowed to talk about God? Um, Technically, they can't keep me from it. They haven't made any. They don't make any. How do I say this? They don't. It's not that they don't make it. They don't make. They don't say any rules about it. Um, it's not encouraged. It's not discouraged. And so I usually I'll interject it lightly. And if the children bring it up, I absolutely go for it. Yes, the children have brought it up, and we've had some great conversations.
Yep.
And and I'll do some teaching. Um, it's fun to talk Bible stories.
It's fun to talk period when you're going down the road. Talk about
Absolutely.
it feels different about in the road conversations. I love it.
Donnie says Jesus will be here before you retire. That's one way to look at it. I always look forward to Christ coming and
Yep.
trying and even so, Lord, come quickly. Um, I look forward to it, and I also look for make plans um, in case he decides to hold off until some long day in the future. So it's always wise um, to act, to live as if Christ will be here in the next minute, but to plan for the future.
Yep. Yeah. If the Lord wills, if the Lord should tarry, in 20 years, my plan is still to be right in this chair with you.
Um, that chair will
Well,
probably be broken by that time.
what?
That chair will probably be broken by that time.
I don't know. This is 20 years old.
Yeah, see, it's had a lot of use.
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
So, maybe not this chair, but in a chair. We
that
got
sounds better.
we got no plan to stop him if the Lord
Oh no.
wills to continue. We're gonna keep going.
Donnie says in 20 years I'll be 64 years old. Brian says that's about his age. I don't know if that's in refer to Donnie's age reference or my reference or CJ's reference, but
Cause this has been what 5 years, half a decade. We gotta come up with what we're gonna do for uh, 10 years if the Lord wills. That we gotta do something special for 10.
yeah. Well, there's one thing I won't do, and that's dance. I might sing though. In
That's all.
Brian's age. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I love driving school bus. I love the interaction with the kids because it keeps me young. I shared this there in one of my recent streams, whether it was this morning or yesterday, whatever. Um, but
Oh,
the kids will say, for some reason, every once in a while, they'll forget who it is that's going to be last off. And so, who's the last off, Levi? And I said, well, I am. No, who's the last kid off? I said, I am. You're an adult. Who's the last kid off? I said, I am. I said, I'm still my parents' kid. They're alive. Like, no, you're an adult. I said, yeah, but I'm still a kid at heart.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you need some suggestion for Sis's birthday? Oh man, I'll offer you one suggestion. Good luck.
Good luck.
That's a rough one, Donnie. I'll have to think on that. Yeah, Donnie's sister is about my sister's age, so they were two peas in a pod. So that's one of the reasons I use an over-the-ear one, not one that plugs into my ear.
Well, these are over here, but
No,
they
no, no,
still.
no, no. I mean one
What?
that fits over the ear, goes up over the head, fits over the ear.
The phone things? The
One of
earphones?
one of the headsets. Yeah.
Well, that's all clunky. This is kind of not noticeable and sleek.
I'm sorry, CJ, but having a boom in front of your mouth is noticeable. Yeah, and yeah, it's noticeable. We'll just go with that. It's
Well,
noticeable.
let's see. Comparison. This is
I
the
I see.
headset mic.
Hey, O'Shea, bring me your headset.
Oh, I'm good, man. Why did that get louder?
Probably because I forgot O'Shea was watching, and so I got a little loud, just a little bit loud.
But on board,
Of course, he might not
uh,
be. He might be talking to Westy or Skylar.
can you tell the difference? Can you tell the difference between the
Well, yeah, you can
onboard
tell the difference between the onboard and the other.
and close? Probably sounds like a close
It'd
up.
be the same as if I was to actually. Why do they have me at O'Shea? Here I've gone this entire route, this entire stream labeled as O'Shea instead of as me. It'd be the same as if I went and switched from running with my microphone, the stand microphone here. Um, and I don't know if I can do that. Can I do that? No, I've only got one actually on. Ha ha.
Oh, the sound quality is great in here. Like, it's probably better than the microphone. It's crystal clear. And sounds like Levi's in my thought process. He's in my
That
head.
is scary that you're actually thinking that I'm in your head.
I know, right? Like, it feels like you're my conscience. That's even scary.
Oopsies.
Don't abuse that.
Let's see.
maybe I'm, maybe I'm in your head.
It'd be just like me switching here. Have you notice the difference between the audio?
Yeah.
That's because I'm using my webcam now versus the stand mic.
You get a lot more bass. the webcam.
versus this one here, where I'm still talking in the same depth of voice.
Yeah, that's more tenor, I think.
This is a much more quality of an audio system.
Yeah.
Skylar made it home. Donnie has to
Hey,
sign off for the night.
guys.
Brian wants to know, how long does yours hold a charge?
5 hours.
5
5,
hours.
5 hours of use time. Not fine. All hours are fine. Actually, midnight hours for most people are dangerous. That's not fine.
So Skylar made it home. He must have been out talking to O'Shea, so O'Shea didn't hear him
Alright.
on her headset.
What?
O'Shea must have been talking to him, so he didn't hear me about the headset.
You're gonna end in song?
Oh no! Oh no! 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 No!
Oh, and then Mary Dawson, I forgot.
Let's see here. I believe we were finished. Was it 2 weeks ago? We did the removing the wasp nest.
Oh yeah, at the Smith shop, yeah.
John the blacksmith destroys the wasps in the straw.
Yep.
Today we're doing chapter 13. Rolling cheese gathers no moss.
Did we not do rolling cheese?
Well, tell me what it was about.
Was that the one where they try and something goes in the water and they try and get it out? No. Was that something else?
Mm.
Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking of another story. 13 of them leave by you. I'm trying to keep straight 13.
We are reading from the book entitled The Merry Men of Gotham.
I love these stories.
We're expanding CJ's horizons.
Yeah,
This, I should say, compiled by M.A. Jagendorf or Jagendorf, depending upon pronunciation. Copyright 1950. And so we are reading this book, not reproducing it via, not writing it, reproducing it, etc. Just reading. Chapter 13. Rolling cheese gathers no moss. This is how it happened. Robin the Cheeseman of Gotham was walking on a day filled with sun and song to Nottingham Market. On his shoulders was a load of round, buttery cheeses, and on his forehead big beads of slithery perspiration, for the weight was heavy. So he came to the top of a hill and began walking down, when one of the cheeses fell out of the bag and went rolling down the hill. Robin was a man quick to lose his temper. "By the bulls and bait," he shouted, "had I known this! Here I've been carrying you heavy cheeses while the sun was broiling my flesh, and now you show me how you can run to the market alone? Why didn't you tell me this before? It would have saved me all the work this hot summer day. But it's none too late. The rest of you cheeses can go on alone to the market." He slid the sack off his back and, taking out the other 4 cheeses, sent them tumbling one after the other. Some rolled into one bush, some into another, and all found a resting place on the bright green grass. Said Robin, I charge all of you to meet me in the marketplace, where I always stand in front of the butter stall near the church. Then he set off light-heartedly, for the load was off his back, and walking was much easier. Robin came to the Nottingham Woman's Market, where he always stood. It was near the church, by Ursula's butter stall. There she was, in a green kirtle, squatting before a basket of eggs and pads of butter covered with broad vine leaves. A good day to you, dame, he cried. Have my cheeses come to the market? Cheeses, said she. What cheeses? My cheeses, those that went to the market. They know the way well enough. Robin, said Mistress Ursula, you've gone off your head, or perhaps you've been too long at the inn. This made Robin angry. He shouted at her, and in the end he blamed all the world because his cheeses were not there. Then he searched for them everywhere, and asked all the merchants and the people who came to buy, amongst whom was Jack of Dover, if they had not seen his cheeses come to market. Who brought them all? All asked. Or who brought them? All asked. Marry, they brought themselves, said Robin. The first one rolled down the hill toward Nottingham, and I sent the others after him. Lord, they went fast enough. Ha! Perhaps they ran so fast they couldn't stop themselves. Vengeance on them. Maybe they ran beyond the marketplace. I am now fully persuaded they must be now almost to York. That might be, said Jack of Dover, with a wink in his eye. Perhaps they're now for a certain at the York market. That's it, said Robin. They rode very fast, and they must be in York by now. I'll go see. So he hired a horse and rode to York to find the cheeses, while Jack of Dover, leading the men of Nottingham, ran the other way to look for them, too. For, as one could say, never let a rolling cheese gather moss. But when they got there were no cheeses anywhere, and this is the reason why. Soon after Robin had rolled his cheeses down the hill, Arthur, his son-in-law, came by the place on horseback with a big bag of gloves to be delivered in York. He saw the cheeses, and by their marks he knew them to be his father-in-law's. Never asking how they came there, for he was used to the strange ways of his father-in-law, he picked them up, loaded them on his horse, and went to York, where he sold them at good prices. When Arthur was done with all his business, Robin arrived in York, asking all whether they had seen his cheeses. When he saw Arthur, he asked him the same question. Indeed I have, said Arthur, and sold them at good price. Robin was much pleased at this, and without asking any questions, the two set off to Gotham. When they came to Nottingham, in order that Robin might return the horse, Jack and the townspeople were back from looking for the cheeses. Why were you seeking my cheeses? Asked Robin. Didn't I tell you, Jack, they rolled to York market? That is just what they did, and my son-in-law Arthur sold them at a good price. The men in Nottingham looked and couldn't understand. Jack was so angry he could have jumped out of his skin. Fool's luck, he cried. That's better than sly fellow's disappointment, said Arthur, looking at Jack. And to this day, the hill near Nottingham, down which Robin rolled his cheeses, is known as Cheese Hill. You can see it when you go there.
Oh, that's so funny. I love that.
Merrymen of Gotham.
Well, thank you all for being here. Please don't misplace your cheeses tonight when you go to bed. And remember, here at CEM, we want to do three things. We want to glorify God, edify the saints, and answer any spiritual questions you may have. And here's Levi to keep it rolling.
That's because rolling cheeses grow no moss. They don't get any bigger because they grow no moss. Hopefully you've been edified, drawn closer to God through our time together. because we can have one with another. That way, whether we wake tomorrow to serve God here on this earth, or we wake tomorrow to serve God up there where we all long to be, we'll have the pleasure, the privilege, the honor of being. For we'll see you then. God bless in your walk with Him. We love you all. Have a blessed evening.
God bless.